Okay, we're going to install a Yada wireless backup camera. First thing I'm going to do is take off the inside panel on this back door. As you can see, it's a 2010 Expedition, and I'm going to remove those two screws, then pop off the back inside panel. As you can see, these screws are actually just little push pin type things. Anyways, simple as that. Now we're going to lift it up and take it out. Okay, so I've lifted up the back of the hatch. Now it's just a matter of pulling these down like this. There's little clips that are all throughout here. I hate doing this because you always feel like those clips are going to break or the plastic's going to break, but here we go. Okay, underneath here's the handle. I'm thinking it's not coming off, popping off easy, but I wasn't paying attention. Here's this handle that's screwed in. These are those little, if I can get it to focus, there's a little star screw, so no big deal, just use one of these if it will focus, or maybe that's my eyes not focusing, not my glasses. There we go. So from the inside here, there's the, so here's the vehicle, doors up on the inside, a little handle. Just take those screws out and remove that. Okay, I'm having problems with this top piece, so I just went ahead and started on the second portion of it, and this one here popped kind of right off. And I'm going to see if I can't, and there's the clips that this is clipped into, and this came off reasonably well. So as you can see, this here, you can't pop this side off first because of underneath here. So you have to pop, from the bottom down, and then just lifts out. Like I said, though, I don't know. Just don't want to break some of these stupid pins, so we'll see. There's only me out here filming, so I can't really get to, but this is well, shit. I can see right here, one's broken right there. But this is a son of a bitch to pull down. Oops, I don't know if I can say this. Anyways, this is very difficult to pull down. I'm hoping that one doesn't cause me a lot of headaches in the future. Criminy. Anyways, it's flipping ridiculous. Alright, I was able to pull this out of the top there. As you can see, it's just the pressure should pop that past that piece, but it didn't. So I'm hoping I can just turn this around and put it back on there, and it'll work in the future. We'll see. Either way, I'm gonna move on forward. Okay, so now I've got all this removed, got the top piece removed. The goal is going to be to run a wire up through here. Hopefully I can get it through here someplace, or maybe hopefully there's a hole back through the back side of the license plate, and we're going to come in through on the inside. I got to pull this plastic, and of course then I want to run it up underneath these panels. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm going to try to run it out here. See if I can't get it through this little gasket right here and run it on the inside down here, and then maybe I can see if I can get access to this light from in here. I don't know. Now I'm going to go ahead and take these out. These are those star-headed too, but they're a little bit smaller set, star-head, but pretty decent screw. Take those two out to go ahead and take that off. I was looking at, I've got this panel here to access the fuse, so hopefully I can drop the wire down through here and connect out here, because you can kind of, I don't know if you can see in there, but I think I'll be able to get around to it. It's too dark. Just so you can see what it looked like after I take off these two screws. This just has to pull out because those connections right there are in those holes right there. So there's a couple of them. You just pull it straight out. I had to put a little screwdriver in there to do it. I wish I could, if I had two hands or a tripod, I'd try to show you better, but that's the best I could do. And then now the question is I thought I could get to it from in here to make this look better. I don't know. There we go. There's some access underneath that flap. I think I can run the wire right through there, hopefully. So the next thing I did was I pulled this piece out here, and as you can see, it just had some similar clips. You could just kind of gently pull it down, and we'll see if I can get access from there through here and run that. I may pull this off too and run it all the way down, as I said before, down to there. So now I've popped off this side panel piece here. Again, pretty straightforward. Pieces just pull out, but be careful. Okay, unfortunately, there isn't any kind of hole behind my license plate like some people have. So I think I'm going to try to maybe just drill a hole. I'll have to putty it up with something later. And I'm going to have to look from the other side to make sure I don't drill into anything that could ruin something. Some people, again, this is a type of backup camera that mounts the license plate. You know, I said there was no holes back here because that's for the license plate. And there's these two plugs right here, which are plugs for, I got to peel it off, but it looks like there's a hole that I can just access through there. As you can see, this piece just popped right out. It's sorry, it's hard to do with one hand. Just a little clip. I almost wish I could drill right through the center of that darn clip to run the wire. I might try that. See what happens. I'll show you if I can do it. So anyways, I was able to drill a little hole in this thing. Actually, I don't even think I had to drill a hole. I think it was just this cushiony stuff on the outside, which I didn't realize was just that, and but it was right where I was drilling anyway. So I'm going to run this wire from the camera through this hole and into the back of the truck. Well, there's the camera. The license plate's bolted back on. The camera had should have showed you, I'm sorry, had just a little sticky piece that sticks to the license plate from the back side. It's a metal bracket. But I'm going to try to zoom in. You can see where the wire is actually going through that little hole right there. And I think it looks pretty nice. Like I said, later I'm going to get a little caulk and put it in that hole to make sure no water's getting through there. Here's my bag of zip ties. Still have quite a few left in this particular bag. I hope it's enough. But I'm going to zip tie. I'm going to run this wire up to these wires, zip tie it, and follow them all the way around. That's a great camera shot, sorry. Okay, so I've zip tied them. You can see I do a lot of zip tie. I'll cut these off in a minute because I want to follow this string, and I'm getting kind of greedy, I think. I pulled out this little boot. I'm going to see if I can't fish that down through here, and then even fish that up through here, which may be difficult because of the angle, but I sure would like to be able to do it that way. And sometimes you get too greedy doing stuff, but we'll see. Alright, so what I was able to do actually, because the wire I couldn't fish down through here, but I was able to fish this little, I should have used something else, but I fished this little zip line because it's a little stiff, up through this direction. I'm going to tape these together and hopefully pull it out, and yeah, I think I'm getting a little greedy here. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Well, I got lucky. Sorry, I got lucky. The wire, I swear, it just pulled through as this pulled, excuse me, got lucky. The wire, this zip tie just pulled off this wire I had taped to it right as it came through this little, show you, it's not a big hole, but there's a little hole in the gasket that I was able to create because the gasket keeps going a little bit further. So we'll see if I can get it inside from here. But I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, I got interrupted with guests, so I don't know. Anyways, I don't even remember where I ended, but I ran it through here and I zip tied it along these other wires that are back here, ran it down the side column here, then I fished it kind of down through there, which is pretty easy, and then from in here I lifted this little dust flap and ran the wire out right here, so hopefully we don't get too much dust in there. And then I'm going to connect these two wires, if I can get them in the camera. We have a red and a black wire with the little connectors. What I've been having difficulty finding out on these 20 Expeditions is whether the black and white or the teal one is the positive or negative. Over here, I think from what I've read, the black and white one is the negative, so I'm going to just try it. I couldn't find a real good answer, so I'll let you know if that's the right one. So I'm going to wire this into here. hook everything up and see if it works. Sorry, I got interrupted with a phone call and I forgot to record. So, as you've seen before, I'd fished that through there. Just so you'll know, in the backup light for the 2010 Expedition, there's two lines that come into that backup light. One line sort of a teal or a bluish, green, whatever. I'd say more of a teal, like a green and a stripe. And the other one's black. The black one's the ground, or the negative. The teal one with a stripe is the positive, and that's the hot one. I double checked it with the multimeter. Sorry, I'm not doing a video on how to check that, but I checked with the multimeter. The snap connectors that I was using, that came with the kit, you know, you just clip them on there. Well, those didn't work for crap. I thought maybe I'd even rewired it. That's when I got out the multimeter and was double checking to make sure it had the right ones. But I tried both little clips a couple times, didn't work. Finally, I just stripped the wire, both of them, and connected it and put a lot of electrical tape on there. Not a lot, but a normal amount of electrical tape, and everything worked just fine. And then I just screwed this back on here, put this back on, snap this back in place. Was real easy. I snapped this back in place. That's all I've had done so far, and I forgot to record it before I started. Now the only things left is these two pieces here that I'm going to be snapping into place. Oh, and you know, this one that goes along there. Oops, I don't know if you don't see what I'm pointing at. So this piece that snaps there and the piece that snaps here is what is left.